We're doing it live. And we're live. Hi, Quindy. Can you hear me? I think sound should be okay. Sounds pretty decent. Yay. I hope you're doing okay. It's Friday here. I'm not feeling too hot. I may have gotten some con crud. I don't know. It could have been. I ate a whole jar of pickles like Wednesday night, Thursday. No, it was Wednesday night for sure. I had a jar of pickles and I was just drinking pickle juice and eating pickles. And I don't know if it hurt my throat or maybe I got sick from BGG. I don't know, but my chest is starting to... Maybe I just gave myself like super acid reflux because my throat's been bothering me. But I also just feel kind of lethargic today. Today's a lethargic day. But Justin went with Dave to Micro Center, which is like one of the only micro centers in the DFW. I think there's only one left, maybe in the whole United States, to go look at some stuff. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but they went to Micro Center. I could have done the stream like normal with the green screen and all that stuff, but there's just a lot that goes into that, and my laptop has been really non-cooperative for me in here with that. So I might have to get a new laptop soon, and it just really makes me mad whenever it disconnects and things like that. So I want to do some cool stuff today with some of these things that are kind of a top secret. These things, little top secret little thing that we're kind of messing around with, kind of working on. I don't know if Ron wants me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just having fun today. Plus, we'll look at some other stuff as well. I have some cool things over here to mess around with, but I think today's gonna be a fun day. I like doing these phone streams. They're really kind of nice, but yeah, don't clip that. I don't know if you could hear it, but I tooted. Oh man, yeah, I went live a little bit early just because I wanted to make sure that it was testing correctly and coming through the restream. I renamed the restream and all that stuff just to make sure that it was okay, but it should be good. Everybody's playing Diablo 4. I don't know if I'm gonna play it yet or not, just because of moral principles. Plus, it just doesn't look that fun to me. But we can talk about that as well later on down the day. But let's see, I'm on the gimbal today. I shot a video for the store. The store is doing some kind of, like the Reaper game store. Bill is doing some kind of, are we still broadcasting? Okay, I think we're good. I think we're okay. Just gotta make sure we still are. But they're doing some kind of application process for the game store. Just because they needed to shoot a video of the parking lot and what the store looks like how much gaming space there is, where the checkout counter is, and what kind of products they sell. So I shot a whole video for them this morning for their application process. Like, apparently you have to do this for a lot of different things. Like, if your store wants to sell certain items, or, you know, they basically just want to make sure that you're running a good game store. You know, you're not just someone in your house just ordering stuff at discount prices, I guess. So that was pretty cool. Hey Zox, how's it going? I can see you guys on the screen. Here, I'll show you. We'll get done here. Maybe flip the camera. There you guys are. I can see you guys on the big TV. This is how we see you during Reaper Live. Let me see if there's a better camera that I can use. There we go. Yeah, Pendrake, you should be able to hear me. But you should be able to hear me. Oh no, I messed up the focus. Oh no. I messed up the focus. There we go. Hi Mom. You're on camera. Rip focus. Yeah. Alright, let's see. What does the camera look like here? It looks okay. Right here. Let's check the ultra wide again. Ooh. I kind of like the ultra wide. Ultra wide's pretty nice. I feel like I'm in first person mode in like a video game. Like I'm your hands. Grab the clippers. You know. You're like playing a video game. Rip focus. All right, let me move the camera up a little bit. All right, perfect. Let me get adjusted here. So these, we'll talk about these for a second. Recently I got a bunch of masters that were a kind of a stone tile print, and you can see I'm gonna get up close here against the wide angle. And this is like a little stone pattern. This is a 2x2, and we have like some 2x4s or 4x2s. This one is a miscast, but I kind of wanted to use it anyway because I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, so this is just some tiles that Kevin was working on, and it was just a test in the Bones USA, like the Bones, to see if we can mold make it. In particular, this is the main piece, or like that we wanted to test, is this big 6x4 inside of a mold, just to see if it would work. It's pretty thick, like it's a thick piece. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's pretty thick, just because of the way that it needs to be sit in the mold. But a piece this size, you can see the injection point is right in the middle of the mold of the piece. So normally, whenever I make a mold, you know, I have a sprue in the center, and the sprue goes off into the models. But with something this big, you can't do that in the mold. So we were testing to see if we can put the injection point feeding right into it, right in the center. And I mean, for the most part, it works. Like, look, you can't even see it. I did snip it off. Like there was a little thing here, but I just went psh, and snapped it off. And so it's relatively, you know, relatively flat. Especially since it's on the bottom, you're not going to notice it. See, like if you just put it down on the table, you're like good to go. You're good to go. There's like, it's not lifted up, or it's flat. So that's good. I'd expect warping. Oh no, not with Bones USA. Generally this is, I mean, in the mold making process, it looks like there might be a little warping. It's hard to get the angle, like it's hard to get the camera straight on for you guys, but if I look at it from straight on with my eyes, there is a slight warpage on this side, on this right side, but it's very, very minor. I'm trying to line it up for you guys on the camera, but it's very minor, and it's not that big of a deal. So you can see that it's not really rocking. So it's pretty flat. It looks great. I started my career in automotive injection molding. That's a lot of surface area. Any issues with flashing? No, actually. These worked pretty well, especially these right here. These pieces, because I had a mold that was, you know, 4 of these. So I had a mold with these 4 on it, and they're relatively really clean. Let me see. I bet you I don't even know if I can find where the injection points were. Oh, this wasn't even a 4x4 to begin with. This one's been cut. This one was. So I can see the injection points right there. I'm trying to get it like as best as I can focused. So you see those two little pieces that are hanging on the edge. But, you know, obviously for anybody that's messed around with Bones USA, you can just, look at that, and it's gone. So they're relatively awesome. Hey everyone, I usually miss the stream, actually made it today. John, this doesn't pertain to what you're doing now, but are there any updates on to when ReaperCon tickets and classes are up for registration? Twisted Oma, I know, here, let me see, I got you. Let me zoom in on you. Come on, focus. No. Okay. Well, Twisted Oma, here, let me go back to me. ReaperCon tickets will go on sale June 16th at noon. Right after we get done with this stream, I have an update that I've started writing. I got to get a few more hyperlinks and a few more kind of informational stuff in there, but it should be going out like as soon as I end this show. I'm gonna go sit down and finish it, and then send it out. So if you've gotten a badge for tabletop.events for ReaperCon, you'll get that email. If not, I'm gonna transfer that news information to Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Instagram. So it's going everywhere. And we decided on noon Central, so noon our time. I wanted to do it at 8 our time, just because it lets people get home from work and stuff like that, but we like to be able to be in the office to answer questions or put out fires or whatever, like whenever it goes live, to be able to get people's issues resolved if there are any and things like that. Because if we did it at 8, everybody's already at home, yada, yada, yada. Let me see. I'm gonna talk about ReaperCon for a second, but I'll come back to you guys. Questions, Twisted Emma. Yeah, noon on June 16th. So 2 weeks from today, right? Is that right? 2 weeks from today, should be right. Cranky Dog says, if the mold is relatively new and not abused, flash is minimal or non-existent. Also have a degree in plastics processing, including plastic injection. That's cool. Do you use, Cranky Dog, do you use like steel injection molding? Because I know a lot of like plastic injection molding is like the big steel molds, right? Because we're using silicone molds for Bones USA. But I'm assuming most of the mold making processes are the same. If you gave that piece an edge or a lip, would that stiffen it? Looks like a movement tray for Warhammer and other such like games to me. A movement tray? If you gave the piece an edge or a lip, are you talking about like around this edge, around here? I guess you could, but we don't know what our plans are for these yet. These are just kind of a test. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about it for ReaperCon's purposes. So Ron mentioned something to me about, you know, doing some stuff for ReaperCon with these, and he wanted to make some molds of these to make sure that we can make them in Bones USA. But you know, these are just the kind of the first tests to see if the mold making process can handle it and things like that. Oh, I see, movement trays. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you put all your army on it and then you move it all at once. I see. I guess you could. You could do that, yeah. All steel, got it. Good afternoon, John. Dogfather's in chat, says, good afternoon, John. John was out with Chaos Queen. Oh, so you missed the Charlie post. Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. So Ron wanted me to test these to make sure that the molds would work. And partially, I'm going to do some tests with you guys today. I kind of did a little bit of test on my own. Here, I'm going to switch back to the wide angle. No, I'm going to go back to the back camera. So I did some tests myself today on these just to see, because we wanted, I think what Ron wanted, well, I'll use this one as an example, is to, you see how there's kind of a thin little cavern in here? There's like a thin little cavern in the middle. What Ron wanted was the ability to be able to kind of like snap these like that, just so you can like snap them and like kind of build how you wanted. You know what I mean? So like, you know, if you wanted to build a 2x2 or, you know, like this, if it's like a corner, you can just kind of build it how you want. Or like, you know, you can grab a 4x4, you know, basic tile stuff. So you could do something like this. you know, you can build a custom piece like that, or if you wanted to do like that, you could do that. Cranky Dog says for stiffness, it would need to be like figure bases, a small lip on the underside, and some spines underneath that follow the grid. The spines also help to channel the material into the mold. Oh, I see. Snap and build. Yeah, so it works fine for the snapping. If you're doing something like this, if you're doing a 1x1, you know, or like a 2-piece, you can snap it pretty easily. You know, here I can snap it again, but you see the problem with Bones USA is that it's not very, the perforated edge was not very good. You can see there, so there's an issue with that. So in future iterations, if we wanted to do this, we would have to make this groove a little bit thinner or smaller or something like that, so it helps snap. But the good news is that I could take this, and what I found is look, I'm just gonna do a slight little, look, that's all I did. I didn't do anything crazy. I just did a thin little slice down the center of this, and look, it like snaps like so clean, like so easy. And I could do the same thing here. Like I could just do a quick, I'm not even pressing hard. I'm just doing a slight little scratch down the middle. I'm not even pressing hard at all. So we found in our testing that, you know, this graham cracker piece here, that it's going to be hard to kind of snap it, and it's not very even if you do snap it. Like I snapped that one pretty easy, but if you do your little scratch right down the middle, it like snaps super easy. There might be a little bit of edging to clean up right there, but that's not that big of a deal, you know. Do a little bit of, oh, I can't see because I'm looking at the camera. There we go. Just do a little edge cleanup. Ta-da! And now you have your 2x2, and then you can do something like this, or you do like this, make a little corner. So that's really nice. The underside could use the scratching guide on the underside. Yeah, the underside, it's all kind of relatively the same, but you can see there, you can see that very thin line that's like right there, but it's really hard to score it because it's flat. This is easy to score because it has this groove down the center. It's like a V shape. You can see it's kind of like a V shape down the center there. So it's easy to score, but the underside is just, it's all flat. So yeah, scoring. Yeah, I know. You could just score the middle. The scoring is the easiest part. But I wonder if we could, here, let me, oh, I can't go any further down. Let me move my camera real quick. I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah. I wonder if we can press like harder, like down the center. I'm gonna press pretty hard all the way down. So I pressed pretty hard there. And I'm gonna press hard here. Oh yeah, look at that. It popped right off. So that was me pressing a little bit harder. Pew! It shot right off. So now I have a little edge piece there. And you can see I didn't get like a perfect score, so because it kind of, sorry, you guys can't see. You can see there I left a little bit of the edge on this piece, and it has a little bit of mold in it. You can see that yellow piece right there, that's uncured rubber from the mold. So I'm just gonna clean this up. Really easy to clean up too. There you go. A little bit here. There we go. Ah, it's pretty clean. I mean, this is a miscast anyway, because you can see here. This didn't get all the way to the edge right there. A little bit of a miscast there. But now we have like a pretty good V. Let me zoom out there. But pretty good V cleaned up right there. You can clean it up a little bit more, but I kind of like it. I like this idea a lot. And yeah, this is just the very first kind of tests and messing around with it. Tell us about your hobby knife. Oh, this is just my little scalpel. I use a scalpel because this is what I use to cut molds. So this is my tool that I'm very familiar with. So this is what I use like basically 100% of the time. I don't know what the intended use for these are, Lieutenant Floby, but the idea, hear me out, for ReaperCon is all of these different pieces, different shapes, different sizes, and all that stuff. Like you can get this piece or whatever. You can get this piece. Let's say it's a 4-person event. You sign up to do this event. You come and you sit down at the table. There's a huge kind of open map, like a bunch of squares. And you take turns one by one. And maybe there's like a dungeon building phase, or like, let's say Cranky Dog is coming. And Cranky Dog, it's your turn. You roll a dice, or you pull a card out, and whatever you roll or you pull, you'll randomly get assigned. Let's say you get this piece. And so now I give you this piece, Cranky Dog, and now Cranky Dog will go and just place it on our map that is being built. So, you know, he'll place it down. And then who is in chat? Valandar. So Valandar's at the table well, and he wants to play too. So he pulls a card, or he rolls the dice, and he gets this piece. So now he chooses where this goes. And I don't know if we're gonna do it to where you have to put it to the piece that the previous person laid down, or can you put it anywhere? Haven't decided yet. You could do this if you wanted to. You know, and then now it's Twistodoma's turn. Twistodoma, you pull your thing, and you get this piece. You randomly get like this piece that I've modified and cut up. Then you like place it here, like that. And then we keep going like turn by turn, or maybe something happens where you pull over a card, or you roll the dice and you land on something that says like, pull a tile and a monster encounter, or pull a tile and get loot, or something like that. So you pull this tile, you place the tile wherever you put it, and then the event happens, or let's do this, or the monster attacks, or you find some loot, or some kind of event happens. And then as the game goes on, you know, you just kind of keep building out this dungeon with whatever, you know, doors and different loot spots and different monsters and things like that. So each event or each game is going to be different based on who's sitting at the table and what you draw or what you roll to kind of place your dungeon dominoes. It's essentially dominoes, but dungeon tiles. There are so many tile placing games which have similar mechanics. Yeah, agreed. Dungeon dominoes. It sounds fun. Yeah, Pendrake, you know, we have a bunch of dungeon dressing and a bunch of, like, you know, treasure chests and all kinds of things like that. So I'm sure I could come up with something with the models that we have. But I don't know if we're going to be doing anything, like, super crazy, like, you know, building these tiles with, like, water in them, like a river running through it, or, you know, a well or something like that. And, you know, there's ideas going around saying, you know, you get, like, a round one. We're going to be thinking of doing a round version of these. So if you want a round room or something of the like. Painting 2D rooms or hallways on them. I don't know what you mean by that, Cranky. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think of this for just this ReaperCon, and then later on down the line we can come up with a much more thorough plan for these tiles and what we kind of want to do with them and things like that. Because you can even take the base boss to tile like textures. For instance, like the wooden one and the skull one, like these, the wooden one and the skull one, and you can get these patterns and kind of put them on these as well. And you know, and then you can have like a whole wooden one as well, wooden tiles, or, you know, random skull tiles. Maybe there's like a bone pit or something like that. You know, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, but you know, this was just kind of a cool idea that Ron had, looking at the old, I can't remember what they're called, but Lieutenant Floby, that was my next thing I was going to talk about, is that, yeah, we could do the card game with this as well, in some form or fashion. Like, you randomly get dealt out 4 heroes, or you get 1 hero randomly whenever you play, and that's your hero for the event. And then you know, I don't know what we do with those, but well, I'm sure there's something we could do. Are these 10 by 10 squares? No, the biggest that I'm able to make is a 6 by 4. This is the biggest one I can make because of the mold making process. You can see that the injection point went straight into it, and it's relatively flat. There's a little bit of a lift, but when it's laying flat, you don't really notice. And you can see there, slight warpage there, but I think it's because I've bent this one already trying to snap it. I bent this one trying to snap it. So because we wanted to make these kind of slightly perforated, so you can snap them. But with Bones USA, it's you know, it's kind of risky to snap without them being like super perforated. But you have to score them first, is what we've been testing and figuring out. Or have the tiles upside down, and when you draw your tile, there might be a surprise on the other side, like a chest or a small dragon to become an obstacle. Correct. Yeah, I don't know about face down, but maybe in the deck of cards or in the dice roll, it could be like, oh, you rolled this piece right here with a piece of loot on it, and then we would like put this out wherever you put it, wherever you choose to put it. Like we could do this, bonk, like that, and then you know, put like a treasure chest over here. So then your character has to, you know, go over to pick it up. But then, you know, maybe there's a chasm, or maybe your other players at the table want to troll you, and like, you know, they could put this in different configurations, you know, to kind of mess with you. And then we can do like water tiles or something like that. We'll need a top shock. Not what I meant. Each square 5 by 5, like in 5e. Oh, I see what you mean. My bad. I see what you mean. I believe these are 30 millimeters. Is there a millimeters thing on here? Does this thing not go in millimeters? Bruh. It only goes in centimeters. So, let me see here. This thing is 18 centimeters, is that right? Or, so each one is 3. Each one is 3 centimeters. So what does that mean? 30? Yeah. So these are 30 millimeter squares. 30 millimeters is what they are. And Ron designed them that way, so I'm sure he has a reason. Maybe it's because a lot of our pieces fit on 33 millimeter pretty good. 30 millimeter, so I'm not sure. You know, things with kind of wider bases kind of fit on a 30 millimeter pretty nicely. So you can see there. So 30 millimeters is a good size for our bases in general. Like, you know, it's a good sizing. We can also make this a faction-based thing. You know, like a faction-based dungeon crawler for the factions at ReaperCon. And obviously we would use minis like this. You know, you would have to move so many spaces, pick up your treasure, or, you know, line of sight your fireball, etc. If you're fighting like a big mushroom guy, for instance. Maybe we're like in a cavern and we're fighting a big mushroom guy. Boop. Shoot your fireball. Call it heroic scale 5 feet squares. Just means 6 millimeters represents one. Is that supposed to say door? 1/4. That's about 1 inch squares. 1 inch is like 24.5 millimeters. Is that right? I believe 1 inch is 24.5 millimeters. So this is, 5.5 millimeters more. So they're kind of big, but I kind of like them like this, to be honest, if I'm going to be building something. But it's just something I'm thinking about for ReaperCon. Obviously these are super early, and I'm probably not supposed to be talking about them because they probably want them to be a little bit more fleshed out and finished and done. But I'm just having fun today because I'm not feeling too well. Plus, it's got me thinking about a game for ReaperCon to be played with them in some kind of fun form or fashion. I do like the kind of the drafting of the tiles and building the dungeon different every single time with certain obstacles. Maybe like dealer's choice. So like a player goes, and then the DM or the person, whoever's running the game, can go and they put in some kind of obstacle, like a floor of lava or something like that. 10-inch guns are 254 millimeter artillery. 25.4 was 1 inch. That's what I thought. 25.4. Oh, did I say 24.5? My bad. So it's 25.4 is an inch. So this is about 4.5 millimeters more. Don't tell Ron I leaked. Because then I won't be able to leak stuff anymore. How about that? Then you'll lose all your privileges. But I figured this would be a fun thing to kind of look at. Also, for anybody that didn't see, here is... Did the stream mess up? I don't know if the stream messed up. I accidentally clicked a button when it popped up. But the lighting in here is not the greatest. I have some big shadows in here. But you can see 100 millimeter Sophie. Tassine posted the otter on the Facebook page underneath the Treasures of the Vault from the Vault page section. I was going to go over and get a picture. So I'm going to go over and drop this off before I come back, before I leave today. And I'm going to take a picture of her and the otter together. The otter looks so good. So it's like, the otter looks incredible if you haven't seen it. But this is the 90 millimeter Sophie. I call her 100 millimeter, but it's whatever. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to layer out on centimeters here. It's kind of hard because she's not flat. Let's see, from the top of the wing there, it's about 13 centimeters. If you put 100 millimeter Sophie down as the boss for the party, my money is on Sophie. Yeah, she's like this, She's in this room. Oh, she looks so nice on the table. So, let's see here. If she's like right there, that's in line with this base. So 30, 60, 90, 120. So from the base to the top of the wing is about 120 millimeters, I think. So from the base to the top of the wing, the top of this wing, which is pretty tall, but not to the top of her head. This is 120. So, you could probably minus, this is probably close to like 100, maybe 90 to the top of her head. But yeah, it's close enough. It's really sick. The quality is really nice too. It feels really nice. I like how big she is. All the detail, you can see some of the detail here on the little waistcoat with the potion and her little sickle, her fur boots, her little leather like wrapping on her boots. Probably not leather though, probably some kind of cloth. Maybe. She is a druid after all. Potions. There's like this flask at her waist right there. The vines all over her wings. She has like a little crescent, like a little circle crown piece right there. The big leaves with the stone, with the swirl vine. Oh, it's such a cool, fun model too. It's so nice, especially with the thickness of the wings. It's very thick. Stand a 4 unit on her base. Stand a 4 unit. Like this? I don't know what you mean. Stand one next to her. Use the grid. Oh, you mean like actually grab the grid and move it? I got you. Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat. We can actually do this. I don't want to break her. Yeah, it looks like 130 millimeters to the top of the wing. Top of the head looks like it looks like 100 millimeters to the eyes, actually. That's what it looks like. Is what it actually kind of looks like to me. We could use this too. 369, 369. Yeah, it's probably 100 to the eyes. Sorry. Right there. 369, 120 to the top of the wings. Yeah, that's 120 to the top of the wings for sure. Yep. And I believe this is final. I believe Ron said last night that this was final. So, actually, there's one more thing that might change, is that this probably needs to be thickened up right here on the edge of her wings. So you can see the light coming through right there. So it's just probably a little too thin right there on the print. Same thing for both wings. But good thing is that it's not that thin. Like, look at that. It's still thick. Like, you can't even tell up close how like, it doesn't feel loose at all. It just, you know, probably just needs to be thickened a little bit right there on this very edge right here for both wings. But it doesn't feel soft. It doesn't feel thin at all. It feels really hard. Her little bird here all the way, by the way. Did you see her bird? Her little tiny bird in her hand. I mean, tiny, but I mean, 100 millimeters, it looks really good. Heroic 90 millimeter scale, you got it. But yeah, gosh, it looks so nice. This is going to be a really great piece. She's also going to be available in her smaller version as well, like the normal ReaperCon, like Sophie, in perpetuity on the website. But the only way to get her is if you come to ReaperCon. You have to purchase it on tabletop.events so that we know how many to make. You'll be able to pick it up at ReaperCon. It's so good. I just can't stop looking at it. It's so good. But I'll put her over here without breaking her. Also, chat, do you guys want to see something else that's kind of special and hasn't been shown yet? Oh, there's a few things. I know the bee guy I showed off last night. We got the lizard folk as well. Let's see here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, just so we can get some good focus. Look at this cute little guy. Look at him. I love him. Let me find a good tool here. This tip of the spear is a little bit. It's going to be a lot pointier than this. This one was a failed prototype, but the actual final prototype, this thing is way pointier. It comes down to a really fine point right there. But look at his little wings. His little wings. He has, look, a little sack right here on his waist. Little sack. Nice clean face. I bet you the eyes on these are going to be really cute. Look how big those eyes are. His little pincer feet. So if you can look at his little pincer feet right there. He has like these little claw feet. And then what Ron was talking about last night is all these little flowers You can see like all these little flowers on his base. You can see he has all these little tiny flowers on his base. It's super cute. He has a little stinger. I got some 3D printed supports under there that I can clean off real quick. But he has like a little stinger. A little back, his little needle. But look at his two little front little hands. Oh, the lighting, and I can't get the light to... His sword's in the way. But he has two little hands right here behind his shield that are holding up like a little sack. You can see he's holding up a little sack right here on his two little hands on his front. And his other hand's holding his shield with his kind of like fleur-de-lis, like honeycomb symbol on it. But he's so adorable. I can't wait for people to see him. A Flower Grove Guardian. That's cute. Multifaceted. Yeah, that'd be cool. Here's a close-up of a lizard man. Hey, Trash. How's it going? Hope you're feeling better. This was painted by Daryl. And this is the lizard folk. Wasnnettle lizard folk archer. I know I talked about him before, but my favorite part is the bow with all the sticks as like arrows. I like how they're like not very they're very primitive arrows. I think that's a really nice touch. Nice highlighting of the orange on the scales. But this is Daryl's handiwork. Look at that little brass sheath. Lizard folk. But I don't know if you guys will start to receive yours soon. The June B model. Yeah, the Janeb model. This is him. Here he is unpainted. But I know you guys are getting yours, but I just want to show you like the resiliency of the 3D prints. Like, look at this. I'm like moving this thing all over the place. Pushing it, pulling it. I mean, obviously it will snap at some point, but with these 2 points, I'm obviously like moving it around a lot, and it just kind of goes back. It's pretty, like I can bend his base back and forth. I'm pushing really hard. It's not gonna snap. But for Bones USA, let me find one that's good. Like this. So like this, the Bones USA, like you see I snapped his ankle right there. It snapped his ankle. It's so, I mean, Bones USA is pretty rigid. Look, his ankle snapped. I could probably snap his arm off too, like if I just pushed it. See how it just kind of ripped off? But with the 3D prints, you don't have to, like, I can push really hard, and it's like, it's not gonna snap. It's pretty crazy. Like I can push, oh, I spoke too soon. But I did push pretty hard and loosen it. But there you go. I'm just over here ruining models. Just messing with everybody's OCD with like breaking models and snapping models. The snapping sound is distressing. Yeah. Call miniature abuse hotlines. Here, how about this? How's that snapping sound? You can see that it's not a very clean snap, which is kind of what we wanted. We wanted a clean snap of these, but with just how the nature of Bones USA, it's just not feasible. Especially if I tried to cut this, like if I tried to snip it. You can see I snipped this much, and it kind of fractured this whole section right here and shot off. I mean, this does look cool. I do like how it's kind of like a natural kind of jaggedy shape. Like if I did this, you know, it might be a little rounded, or maybe not. Just kind of unround it, and you got like a little piece, a little edge piece. But that's just not the nature of how Bones USA works. Mini abuse is what material resin? Pendrake, sorry, I'm catching up with chat. Are you talking about the bow guy? The bow guy is resin. Yes, this is the Reaper Miniatures 3D printed resin material. I did snap his legs. Let's see if I can snap his arm. I'm just gonna try to. Oh gosh, I can't. I can't snap it. It's really strong. Yeah, the bow guy's resin. He is. Am I making basing material today? Yeah, these are Bones Mashup. I'm just breaking everything up for Bones Mashup. No, we were talking about these little tiles that we're looking at and getting done. Look, I bet you this would look really good dry brushed. Like, I mean, it kind of looks cool already because Bones USA is gray. So, you know, it's already giving that tile effect. But looking at it right now with like the natural shadows of all the randomness of the tiles, it would look really good dry brushed and like painted up. Pretty easy, right? Just you're good to go. Send you 30? I can. Maybe. I might be able to. But we were just experimenting with like perforating them and cutting them up and things like that. See, this one I did a little test. I was cutting a straight line in the top of a model to see if I could get it to kind of snap off a little bit. I gotta keep this safe. But you can see I naturally tore this one, and it has that really dirty edge. It has like a really dirty edge because I was doing a big model and trying to we'll use this one as an example. Are these 1-inch tiles? No, these are 30 millimeter squares, 30 millimeter. So they're about 4.5 millimeters more than a normal 1-inch tile. Yeah, these are 30 millimeters. So, but you can see if I try to, oh, that one actually worked pretty nicely. I snapped it right down the middle. But that was just a natural non-scored crack down the middle. But now I have two kind of small hallway pieces that I can like do this with, or like this, or you can put them back together, or slightly off center them, whatever you want to do. But I like it because it's pretty natural. But let's see if I can get a good. You got a pretty decent snap there. I guess it just depends on what models you get. See, you can kind of snap them. It's like a Toblerone chocolate bar. So I guess you can. You might need to do some edge cleanup if you really care. But if you're just trying to like build a dungeon really quickly, you have all these like tiles that you can just kind of mash together to build like a floor plan of something pretty quickly. Slim Jim, snap. So if I take, I wonder if you could do one at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, these snap pretty nice. Obviously, a little bit of edge cleanup there on the edges of where they snap. They're kind of not the prettiest, but when you're looking at them on a table and you kind of put them back together, obviously when you're doing single by single, they kind of get a little wonky and kind of cattywampus, like that. Bonk. You're good to go. So I think that's pretty neat. I wouldn't want to do this, like just doing single by single by single by single. I would want to do like big hallways like this, graham cracker style, you know, doing things like this, kind of putting them together and making big rooms, a la like big dungeons, like that. So we'll mess around with it. I'm going to talk to Ron a little bit more about this whole, he wants to do some kind of game, and I think it'd be fun with random people sitting down at the table and drawing cards or rolling dice to choose which piece you get. So like I get this piece, and now I have to decide where it goes in the dungeon. So if the other 2 players at the table, or the other 3 players at the table place this, then I could put this one here, and then somebody else draws a piece and they get this piece that's been modified, then they can put it here if they wanted to. And then, you know, maybe you draw a door piece, or you draw oh, you know, some kind of encounter or an item. I think that'd be fun. I think that's a good way to spend some time at ReaperCon. We talked about scoring them. It's really nice and really easy. Like these pieces here. Just scoring them like right down the middle. Just very easy. Just, and then it helps the snap. You can see a little bit not super clean, but hey, now you have a 2x2 that you can kind of put together. Let's clean this up because it's bothering me. Good thing about Bones USA is that you can just kind of chip at it and it's good to go. Oh no, you know what? Some of these might have been, no, this was definitely a Seocast. I was hoping that I didn't grab the 3D prints from my desk. Oh gosh, I'm hoping I didn't. Warlord 2.0. Each faction gets custom tiles with terrain rules. That'd be fun. Yeah, Dungeon Command did stuff like this. Sick. Look at that. They look really good, like especially like with the shadows. With the shadows hitting them, they almost kind of look a little bit shell shaded, a little bit. You can really see where the divots are in the natural stone. Kevin tried to make them as random as possible. Like he made all the edges random, and he did all the random divots. So each one of the different versions, like the 4x4s and all that stuff, are all random. So it looks pretty good. For at least for a first test, it's pretty nice. Oh, speaking of that, you guys want to see something? I mentioned a kind of a tease. Here you go. I'll put her at the bottom of the screen. Oh, this one's broken. Rip. I gotta go get a fresh one. Or maybe I'll go into Seocast and show you, but. Here you go. This is a super sneak peek of a model. Super top secret stuff here. Secret. I like her little kind of like skull pincer staff. Her little face. Ooh. Ooh. But yeah, she has little mushrooms hanging down from her waist. Stop focusing on my hands. Oh, there we go. She has a little bedroll and a little backpack. A wand, it looks like. And her little staff. There she is. Yeah, it's a little swamp witch. A little bog witch. A little hag. This is a top secret model. You don't know what it's for yet. But there you go. Ta-da! She sides as a plumber. If that is a weeb sculpt, does it have a chicken or fruit on it? She's holding two mandragoras. So is mandragora? I mean, I don't know if you want to count that as like a fruit, but there's like 2 or 3 screaming mandragoras that are hanging down right here. This one broke off, but you can see where they're supposed to be in her hand. They broke off. There's some in there I can go grab, but I'm a little lazy at the moment. But she's holding like 2 or 3. Yeah, the staff is well garnished. Yeah, there's a bunch of like mushrooms and like maybe onions. It's really hard to focus on this app. I'm trying to see where the focus is. There it is. There you go. Yeah, she's cool. She'll be coming in some kind of baggie for your pleasure in a couple of months. Cursed produce. Yeah, this was the major thing that I wanted to talk about today, was this stuff. I don't know, I think we're getting close to time, but is anybody in chat playing Diablo 4? I know a lot of people are. A lot of my friends are. I'm not really playing it that much. Just kind of taking it slow. Let's check the wide camera and see how the focus is on this. If I get up and close, no, the focus seems to be worse, especially when you get that close. But I wonder if I get close to the camera here. Camera's on this side. Come on, focus. It seems to be focusing on my hands a lot. Camera. Oh, B-boy. I got it. I could play it. I'm playing Modern Warfare 5 because before I painted the quarterly mini. Oh, quarterly mini. Don't forget, quarterly mini ends on the 26th of this month when I leave for vacation. But I'll be able to do the quarterly contest, I'm sure. Haven't played Diablo since Diablo 2. You're not missing much, Cranky Dog. That's probably for the better. Mech Warrior 5. It's a B. Yeah, it is the B. There you go. And don't forget that the whatchamacallit, what am I gonna say? The tickets go on sale for ReaperCon June 16th. That's the big news. There should be a Kickstarter update going out today, I believe, as well. Right after this, I'm going to go give an update on the tickets and all the information and stuff like that you need. So I'm going to go be doing that right after this. Yeah. Hopefully I feel better. I'm probably going to do some garden work this weekend. Yeah, that's about it for me. I don't know who's on right now just because I can't see because I don't have my laptop. I don't know who's on. I don't know who we want to raid. But if Quindy, if you have anybody in mind, I don't know who's on right now. Miniatures Dan or anybody cool. Mike Disney? Mike Disney's on. We can raid Mike. We can raid some Micah Disney if we want to do that. I haven't seen Mike in a while. Yeah, I think he had some family stuff going on, if I remember correctly, with things. So we'll raid Mike. I guess I can go do that in chat real quick. But I'm gonna go finish the Cursed Justin smile. Is that you? Where's he at? Oh, he's right there. Yeah. He's just smiling in the background. Justin was like, "Yeah, we'll be back from Micro Center before the show starts." I was like, "Micro Center is so far, Justin. I don't think so." Yeah, he did have some family stuff, and his stream is just starting. Yeah, we can raid Mike. I gotta go over here and I gotta start the raid. Oh gosh, my back. I gotta do some garden work this weekend, but should be all good. In the studio. Woo! All right. Let's do... Oh, Quindy got it. Quindy's doing it. Oh, you guys want to see how we have chat? So there's a laptop connected to this TV. And this TV is hanging right here from the ceiling. So we can move it around. So if we wanted to, I could like move the TV around. It's very nifty. It's very nifty. Happy Friday, everybody. Tell Mike Disney we said what's up. Say goodbye. Tell Mike I said hi. You can start the raid whenever you want, Quins. More vertical scroll? I guess you could rotate the TV, but Bye. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye. I see it. We rated, I think. I'm gonna go. I think I have restream turned on, so I think Quendy can still hear me. I'm gonna look at the cable management. Justin left his lunch here. I should eat his lunch. Gotta turn the TV. Gotta turn the computer on. Restream.